I found the 5 biggest myths about Islam on the internet, and today we are going to completely obliterate them with facts. You've probably heard these before, and they are 100% wrong. We are putting these myths to the ultimate test, using history and their actual religious books to find the truth. Let's go. First up, this myth is everywhere, that Islam is sexist and oppresses women. People will point at the Quran and say, see, it's right there. But is that the full story? No. We went back 400 years, and what was happening was literally insane. People were burying baby girls alive, and women were treated like actual property. But then, Islam showed up and changed everything. More than 400 years ago, Islam did something completely revolutionary. It gave women their own legal identity. This was unheard of. It gave women the right to own property, run their own businesses, inherit money, and even keep their last name after marriage. It made a woman's consent for marriage mandatory, and even gave her the right to ask for a divorce. The Prophet Muhammad said that seeking knowledge was a requirement for everyone, men and women. In fact, his wife Aisha was one of the most respected scholars in history and taught basically everyone. The spiritual equality of men and women is a massive theme in the Quran. There's this incredibly powerful verse, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 35, that lists 10 virtues and says that men and women who have them get the exact same reward from God. It's a crystal clear statement that your worth is based on being a good person, not your gender. Okay, but what about the hijab? This is the one everyone talks about. The Quran actually tells both men and women to be modest, but it's interpreted in different ways. For millions of Muslim women, wearing a hijab is their own choice to show their faith and reject being judged for their looks. Forcing a woman to wear one is completely against a core belief in the Quran that says there is no compulsion in religion. Forcing someone is a political move, not a religious one. And this is super important. You have to separate the religion from messed up cultural traditions. Things like honor killings and forced marriages are condemned by almost every Islamic scholar and have zero basis in the Quran. People just use religion to cover up their horrible traditions. The truth is, the original Islamic texts gave women rights that were literally centuries ahead of their time. Myth number 2 is maybe the most damaging one in the entire world, that Islam promotes terrorism. We've all seen this pushed because of groups like ISIS or the Taliban. But here's the crazy part. Of the almost 2 billion Muslims in the world, the vast majority and their scholars completely condemn these groups. The extremists then claim that they are the only ones practicing the true religion. So who's telling the truth? We looked into the core teachings to find out. Believe it or not, the words Islam and Salam, which means peace, come from the exact same Arabic root. The entire religion is about finding peace by submitting to God. So what about the word jihad? Everyone thinks it means holy war, but that is a terrible translation. It literally just means to struggle. There's a famous story where the Prophet Muhammad returned from a battle and said they had come back from the lesser jihad to the greater jihad. The greater, most important jihad is the daily internal struggle you face to be a better person. The lesser jihad, which can be a physical war, has incredibly strict rules. Rule number 1, it can only be for defense. The Quran literally says, fight against those who fight against you, but do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not like transgressors. It forbids starting a fight. Permission to fight was only given after years of insane persecution. On top of that, the rules of war are super strict. The Prophet Muhammad made it clear, you cannot kill non-combatants, women, children, or the elderly. He ordered his followers not to destroy crops, homes, or even churches and synagogues. So everything modern terrorist groups do, targeting innocent people, is a complete violation of these core Islamic rules. Maybe the most powerful verse is this one: whoever kills a soul, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely. And whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely. A single human life is that important. To blame an entire religion of nearly 2 billion people for what a tiny number of people do is just a catastrophic mistake. By the way, if you're learning something new right now, do me a favor and slam that like button. It tells YouTube we need more facts like these. Now on to our next myth. This next myth goes to the absolute core of the entire religion, that Muslims worship the Prophet Muhammad. You might have even heard people call them Mohammedans, which could not be more wrong. This came from the idea that since Christians worship Christ, Muslims must worship Muhammad. This is 100% wrong. The single most important belief in Islam is something called Tawheed, the belief that there is only one God, called Allah in Arabic. That's it, just one. This is so important. It's the first half of their main declaration of faith. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Did you catch that? It separates them on purpose. This one sentence is everything. Allah is the only one you worship, and Muhammad is his human messenger. To worship anything or anyone else is called shirk, and it's the biggest sin you can possibly commit in Islam. The Quran is filled with verses that say to worship God alone and that Muhammad was just a man. God literally told the Prophet to say, I am only a man like you, to whom has been revealed that your God is one God. This is a constant reminder that even though he is respected like crazy, he was a normal human who was born, lived, and died. So what's Muhammad's role? He's the final prophet in a huge line of prophets, including Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Muslims see him as the ultimate role model for how to live your life. They love and respect him for being the guide, not for being a god. Think of it like this: if a mailman delivers a letter with $1 million in it, you're grateful to the mailman, but you thank the person who sent the money. In Islam, Muhammad is the delivery guy, but all worship only goes to the sender, God. Okay, this next one is going to blow your mind, especially if you have a Christian background. The myth is that Muslims don't believe in Jesus. But the truth is, you literally cannot be a Muslim without believing in Jesus. In Arabic, they call him Isa, and believing in him as a powerful prophet of God is a required part of the faith. Jesus has an incredibly high status position in Islam. He is mentioned by name in the Quran 25 times. That's more than the Prophet Muhammad himself. His mother Mary is so respected that an entire chapter of the Quran is named after her, the only chapter named after a woman. The Quran even confirms his miracles, like the virgin birth, speaking as a baby, healing the sick, and raising the dead, all with God's permission. He's even given titles like the Messiah and the Word of God. So where's the big disagreement? It comes back to that number one rule: there is only one God. Muslims see Jesus as one of the greatest prophets ever, but they do not believe he is the Son of God or part of a Trinity. Islam teaches that Jesus was a human prophet who had the same message as every other prophet: worship the one true God. The other big difference is the crucifixion. Mainstream Islamic belief, based on a Quranic verse, is that Jesus wasn't actually crucified, but that God saved him and raised him up to heaven. But, and this is a big one, Islam does share the belief that Jesus is coming back. Muslims believe Jesus will return to earth before Judgment Day to defeat the Antichrist. So far from rejecting him, Muslims have massive respect for Jesus, and his story is a critical part of their faith. I am genuinely curious, especially for anyone with a Christian background watching. Did you know this? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And for our final myth, I am willing to bet almost everyone watching gets this wrong. The myth is that all Muslims are Arabs. That is so wrong. This idea that you see everywhere in the media is completely disconnected from reality. Even though Islam started in Arabia and the Quran is in Arabic, the religion has always been for every single person on earth. Get ready for this stat. Arabs only make up 20% of all Muslims. That means an incredible 80% of Muslims are not Arab. It's not even close. The countries with the biggest Muslim populations are Indonesia, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. I'll give you a hint. None of them are Arab countries. In fact, almost half of all Muslims live in South and Southeast Asia. So, why does everyone connect Islam with Arabs? It's all about language and history, not race. Arabic is the language of the Quran and daily prayers, so it connects Muslims everywhere. Think of it like how Latin used to be the language of the Catholic Church, but not all Catholics were Roman. The Quran itself completely destroys any idea of one race being better than another. A famous verse says, "O mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female, and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you." This verse is a pillar of equality in Islam. It says our diversity is God's plan so we can learn from each other, not look down on each other. The only thing that makes you better in God's eyes is how good of a person you are. That's it. As the Prophet Muhammad said in his final sermon, an Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, except by piety and good action. So there you have it. We just demolished 5 of the biggest myths out there. We saw that Islam gave women revolutionary rights and sees them as spiritually equal to men. We learned its core ideas are about peace and justice. We saw that Muslims only worship God, not Prophet Muhammad. We clarified that Jesus is one of the most revered prophets in Islam. And we've seen that the Muslim world is a vibrant mix of cultures, and the vast majority are not Arabs. Busting these myths isn't just for a video. It's a huge step to stop the prejudice that divides us. In a world where lies spread faster than truth, taking a minute to find the actual facts is more important than ever. When you look past the headlines, you start to see the shared humanity in all of us. Which leaves us with one crazy question. What do non-Muslims actually think about these things? If you want to see that video, you already know what to do. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.